Thanks, Doug. I'm gonna have to do a 45-second video now. Um, 45-second video now. Oh, there's my Doug Betts audio check. So, good morning, everybody. It is today, Wednesday, the 19th of October already. Today's the first of two 16s, followed by an 8, followed by a 16. What you're looking at is a thumbnail, believe it or not, that I'm using as my screensaver or my background for my computer as well. I am intrigued by thumbnails right now that you can create your own, and I just tossed this together this morning between the Fortnite episode gameplay, whatever you want to call it, and Doug going live for that. Oh my gosh, that thing was exhausting. I can't believe he went on and on and on. Oh, anyway, I'll talk to him about it. So let's jump right into this. Let's get Davinci running. Most of you seen some of this last night. I've also posted a couple things on Facebook that I was experimenting with last night. So I've got thumbnail. This is the one I just did. I named it YouTube Banner 1. Let's go into this one right here, because I've got stuff in there and I can just work with that. And we'll jump back over here to the edit page. And there it is. This is how all this takes place. Pretty simple. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to close this because this doesn't really explain how you get to where you're at. Go into Project Manager. Right click, close. In here somewhere. Oh, sure it is. I don't want to delete it. Let's close that. Go into File Manage, Project Manager. Right click, open, rename, export, delete. What did they do with the way? Did they do away with closing? Or am I just not seeing it? I'm going to go with I'm not seeing it. Open, open and read, rename, import, export, restore, delete, which I clearly don't want to do. So, fine. Do it this way. Always go back to what works. Shut it down, start it over. Tony Wallow, Rick Lakes, Doug was there earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new one. So to do a thumbnail, I'm going to come up here to your timeline resolution and change it to thumbnails are 1280 by 720. So I want to change it to that, and I keep it at 30 frames per second on the frame rate. And then you just simply go grab your media, and I've got media for days. So I'm going to go over to my D drive. I'm going to go into Davinci. I'm going to go into thumbnails, and I started putting thumbnails in here, thumbnail data in here. So how do I get thumbnail data? Good question. I'm glad someone asked that. Go over here and do like you normally do. Grab some media, and we'll just grab, I don't know. I really don't know. We'll grab this one. And then we'll grab another one. And then we'll grab yet another one down here somewhere. I think today I might actually try to do this, get it organized. All right, I got my media, so it doesn't really matter the order you put it in initially. Because as you know, when you put stuff on top of one another, whatever's on the top layer is going to take precedent. So we're going to start with the bottom. We're going to move these out of the way, and I'm going to simply make sure I'm on what I want. Hi, Parker Morris. Hi, Blackwatch. Good to see everybody. We're going to shrink this down. We're going to move it over. We're going to move it down. And I'm going to bring the next one in. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to shrink this down. I'm going to move it over. And I'm going to move it up. Then we're going to grab the last one. And all I'm going to do is shrink this down a little bit. Like that, maybe. And then I'll go ahead and move it over. And then we'll move it up. But I need to make it a little smaller. So let's do that. Wrong way. All right. So that's basically how you do it. This is now a thumbnail. I can do this a couple different ways. Through the Zoom homies the other night, we determined I used to go in here and render this out. And I'd go up here and give it a title, and I'd render it MP4 because there's currently no way to render it as a JPEG. But I stopped doing that because what I can do, and I'm going to make one more quick change. I'm going to bring all these up a line. I'm going to go put a background in it, and I'm going to grab this 4-corner gradient and put it in there. And then I'm going to move my playhead back over there. And if you want to change the colors in here, you can. You just click on the color, come over here to the color you want to mess with or change, and then you can grab the little icon right here, the crosshairs or whatever, and you can change the colors around. I messed with this a little bit last night and really was having a good time with it. So let's go change the blue now. Let's make it this color just so I get this over there. Let's go more, I don't know, let's go more orangey, I guess. That looks horrible. I didn't get much results as far as what I could tell on the center X or center Y. Oh, I guess I see it now. It is moving it in the background. So if you look, you can see it going horizontal left to right. And then that's going to be going up and down, it looks like. Yep, that's it. Okay, cool. So let's put this back to some basic colors here. Let's go with that one. Let's go lower right corner. Oh, shut up. Let's go lower right corner, and let's go, I don't know, down something like that. Then if you come in here and change these around, you can see the colors. Now, my question I have for myself, but you can't do this on a thumbnail, is can you keyframe these and animate them? But anyway, we'll get back to that. So now I want to make this a thumbnail, okay? It's horrible, but it's a thumbnail. So we can add one more little thing to it. We'll come here to the title effect, put a title in there, try to put a title in there. And we're going to go call that, this is a thumbnail 3. Then you can, do the normal stuff, change the color around in it. And I want to experiment with something else. I kind of saw, go to the layout, move it over, and that's cool for right now. So how do we make this a thumbnail without rendering it? Well, jump over here to the color page, and there it is. Ta-da! We make sure our gallery right here is on or open. Right click, grab a still. Who would have thought? And there it is. Now we're going to export this and turn it into a JPEG. So down here, save as type. We're going to change that to JPEG because we want it to be a JPEG. You can also change it to PNG. And then I'm going to just name this live banner, and that's going to look weird. I'm going to export it. We'll make sure it went to my exports by going over to my Davinci and it's in thumbnails, and lo and behold, there it is, thumbnail. You can also use it as a background screen. You can probably even maybe use it as a banner, and we'll check that out maybe later today or possibly tomorrow. So now we're good to go on that. So let's go back to the edit page and go back to the media pool. And let's add one more thing twice. We're going to import media. We're going to come down. Oh, excuse me. We're going to come down here and we're going to find we'll just use Mrs. K and I. We're going to bring us down here and leave that. What is a thumbnail? I don't know. Did I spell it wrong? Yes, I do look super cute. Thank you very much. I've got on my, this is what an awesome something means. It's for my grandchildren. It's not a turtleneck. It's a t-shirt. Anyway, to continue. Now, I don't want to be chasing rabbits or squirrels. So I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to go over here to the color page. But I don't want all this in there, so that should get rid of that. Cool, it does. Now, if this was something that wasn't the Grand Canyon, I can make changes to this, and this might help Blackwatch out. I'm going to remove the background. So I'm going to click on this little icon right here. It's called a power window. We're going to go to power window. Then I'm going to come down here and grab this item right here. We're going to start right here. And we're just going to outline this. Now, if I were doing this for real, I would take the time to actually go in there and expand this, zoom it in, and really get super particular with it, but I'm not, so I don't really know that it's going to turn out all that well, but that's fine. Chances are I'm not going to keep this anyway. So I say that about everything. Let's just lop off my ear, shall we? Oh my gosh, he's earless. He just did a Van Gogh. To move the picture up and down, if you have a wheeled, the 3-button, what they call the 3-button mouse with the wheel in the center, you zoom it by rolling it, you move it by holding it down and moving your picture or your canvas or whatever you want to call it. This is going to get really interesting because I see something I hadn't thought of until just now. Yeah, those are wrong. All right, so in a sense, did I do the top? Yeah. So in a sense, what I've done is I've masked that out, okay? So now I want just that, and it's going to look horrible because it's going to have, I don't think I can, I don't know, I might, well, let's find out. Let's zoom this in. And let's see if I can do another one here. I'm going to grab the pencil thing, or the pointer thing, and no, I cannot. Damn it, darn it. All right, so let's get rid of that. Come over here, add an alpha output, grab this, put that right there. Lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, Blackwatch, we have essentially gotten rid of the background. If we come back over here, we've gotten rid of the background. We turn all this on. We can now click on what we want to work with, which is this picture. I thought there was a third one in there. There was, right down there. And as long as I'm on the right one, as you know, you can zoom this down. You can move this where you want. And then you can go from there. So here's the other kind of neat thing I've been messing around with this morning is you can change the pitch. That looks terrible. Double click to get it back. You can change the yaw. I've made, on the one I did earlier today, this one, I changed this yaw, and this yaw. I tried to offset this yaw and this yaw to mimic one another. And this one I just offset it just a little bit. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to offset the yaw just a tad bit here. And I think I'm going to do this. Supposedly, and I use the word loosely, it gives it a 3D effect. I honestly don't see that. But we'll say it is what it is. So there you go. Now, what if I wanted to put another one of these up here like I did with Alex and I last night? Well, I thought, okay, right-click, copy. Well, there is a right-click copy, so let's right-click and copy that. We'll set that over there. I'm going to Control V. That probably didn't do what it was supposed to do, huh? Let's see. Did it? I don't think it did. Did not. All right, so let's try that again. Right-click, copy, right-click, paste. If it's doing it, I don't see it. I think it can be done. It's just I mean, I'm sure it can be. It's just a common computer function, so I don't know why they couldn't. So what I ended up doing was I just grabbed the thumbnail again and did the same thing again. Took this thumbnail, shut everything else off, went over to the color page, chopped it down like I did this one, and I was good to go. I got what I wanted. So it gives me something to work on. So I'm going to get rid of that just by highlighting it. But I want this because I have it right here. So there is how I made today's thumbnail, which is this one. I just kind of threw it together. I have some thoughts on a real thumbnail that I want. Or I may just keep making 4 or 5 and do a poll on YouTube and see who likes what the best. I don't know. Let me go catch up on chat. Greg Guy says, good morning. I've had my first cup of coffee. Good morning, Greg. Good to see you here at 12:20. Been about 18 minutes now. I'm debating on whether I want to use Doug's remaining 28 minutes and 42 seconds or if I want to cut this short. Long Dog joined us in chat. Yeah, I got a new thing today on YouTube too. I have to go back and explore it later on. I just saw it a while ago. Let's see what Long Dog put a link in chat. And that link, it says something's wrong. I'll just watch it. Oh, it's because I'm in the studio. That's why. Let me go try it. I keep forgetting that you can't do that from the studio. Is that Jay? No, it's not Jay. I will watch that later. That's not the same one that I got. So, go catch back up with chat a little bit. Yeah, I don't speak Dutch. So there you go. I do have to give a shout out to Doug Betts. He's the one that got me thinking about this, actually, when he did his ordering it from Fiverr or Viver or whatever it is. Maybe that's Dutch. I don't know. It's just, again, limited to what you want to do. If you want to change this color to a solid color, you go into the generators, scroll down to solid color, put it underneath. You can change this color to anything you would like. Now, I do know I ran into issues today when I was messing around with this one, because the Ken Stout Live, the subscribe, and the YouTube are on a black background. I could not put a background underneath this because this is the background. I found it to be really interesting, so I may have to rework that. And then again, do your thumbnail. Now, if I wanted to save this for later, I would render it out, and that way I've got it later on anyway, or I just change it and save the project. I don't like that color. I like this. So we'll get rid of that. Ooh, what did I get rid of? I got rid of something. Not sure what I did. I got rid of that. So I'm going to get rid of this one. All right, any questions? Yep, Control Z is your friend, Wintermute, or Control Z is my friend, believe me. I was playing around earlier last night as well with some effects with the video transitions. You get the cross dissolve. So what happens if we bring this cross dissolve down here and we put it at the beginning? And now, can I actually get a hold of this, make it longer? Now let's see what happens. So from an MP4 prospect or perspective or angle or whatever you want to call it, point of view, that looks pretty cool. You can put an effect on the background, but as we all know, currently thumbnails have to be a still picture or a JPEG or a PNG. They can't be an MP4, and I tried, unless that feature is changed overnight. So that's pretty cool. Now the question is, can you add more than one effect? And I'm kind of getting off track a little bit. Let's see, can I put this in here? Looks like I can. Let's see. Oops, that's not what I want. Off click that a little bit. Let's see if I can grab. I wanted to. Oh, I'm having trouble with this. Doesn't surprise me. There we go. Now let's see what it does when we hit play. This is a little off topic, but it's kind of interesting to experiment. So it fades in that, and then it should fade that out like that. That's all right. I kind of like that. Kind of cool. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Jeff Ryman, good to see Jeff. Didn't think he was going to make it today. It's good to see him. That is it. My thumbnail project, for the most part, is completed. Now I'm just going to fine tune it. By fine tuning, I'm going to use my green screen behind me. I do have a couple of ideas that involve Mrs. K and myself. And then instead of having my sister and Thor and Alex and I and me and Mrs. K and, you know, just this is illustrative purposes, I will have an actual working thumbnail. One for Daily Davinci and one for the nightly stream. And if Mrs. K gets where she wants to do a cooking 1 or 2 times a week channel on my channel, then I'll do one with cooking. I'm not sure yet. Any questions from the chat room before I leave? Greg, when is this going to be over? Greg, I think it's getting ready to wrap up right about now. We're at 24 minutes. So I've used enough of Doug's time and plenty of my time. If Doug would have started, well, it's only 12:26 though, so if Doug would have went normal, he'd have been about 12:30. I still got about 15 minutes, and I'm sure I can ramble on for 15 minutes. Anyway, I will end this. I appreciate everybody being here. Let me go through chat and give some shout outs to everyone. Live Windows Training, Doug Betts was first in the room. We were poking some humor back at one another. Tony Wallow was second. Rick Lakes joined us. Parker Morris, Blackwatch. Kenny Witten. Hey, Kenny, didn't see you sneak in. Good to see you as well. Wintermute, didn't see him sneak in. Wintermute. Just amazing. He points things out and makes me think, and I really appreciate it. Long Dog. Long Dog, you need to change your title to long text or novel. Long novel. Let's go with a long novel. There you go. New name for you. Great guy again. Black Watch and Rick Lakes. I think that's everybody. I'll see you guys tonight. Tonight's stream will be early. Mrs. K is working 16 hours, so I will get started. Let's say somewhere between 9 and 11. Pick a number. Somebody text me my start time and let me know. Thank you, gentlemen. See ya. I hope this was helpful. I hope someone liked what they saw and maybe they, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. Oh boy, I had some sneezes. Let me know that I can do some work for them. Have a great afternoon. I'll see everybody tonight.